Welcome Strategy Battle Gamers to another 500 points battle report for the Great British Hobbit League YouTube channel. As always, you are here with James, and today we have got Lewis battling with us. This is the Power Gamer who brings the Legolas with the Warriors of Erebor.
I'm not Power Gamer.
Okay guys, now today he's going to be bringing something a bit different for us. Okay, just for you guys so we've got some variety, as am I. Today he's going to be bringing a Mordor and Isengard list, and I'm going to be bringing 500 points Grey Company, just for a change so you can see some different armies for the battle reports. Okay, so on to the armies. The force I'm going to be bringing today is actually going to be the Grey Company, which is the first force that I kind of painted up. This force is going to be led by Arathorn. Now he's actually there with 11 Rangers of Arnor, and to his right we've actually got Halbrand, which is a converted Ranger of the North, and he's going to be leading 12 Rangers of the North. Now the reason we can have all those bows is because, as you can see to the side, we have got 6 Rangers of the North, which of course for every Ranger of the North means you can bring a Ranger of Arnor and exceed the bow limit. Now I believe that 7 of these haven't got a spear and all of the rest do, which we will point out during the battle report. So on to Lewis's army. So Lewis, what army are you bringing today?
Yep, I've brought my Troll Chieftain, who's my general, and he's leading the Man and Orcs that you see here. You also have Sharku on Wag from Isengard, he's pretty tough. So there's some Wag Riders and an Orc Taskmaster, which will be very useful on the battlefield, with some Ran Orcs and some normal Orcs with spears.
And that's 500 points of Isengard and Mordor.
Yeah. So
okay, so let's move on to priority. But today we've agreed that we're just going to play to the death, so we're going to roll for priority. Now there is a strict time limit on this game. We are going to be playing for 2 hours. 2 hours because I do need to get off tonight to wine and dine my fiance. So rolling for priority. And I've got no idea what that is. That's a 3. I think you might need to use some clearer dice for this BATREP. And a 2. So priority evil. So this is how the battlefield looks after deployment. When we rolled before, we were actually rolling to see who deployed first, which was Lewis. So we've got Halbrand's Warbound Rangers of Arnor over here. We've got some Rangers of the North all grouped together. Now up on the hill, they are actually on the slope itself. We've got Arathorn and his Warband and 2 more Rangers of the North there. So we come across, we've got the Morannon Orcs with their Taskmaster leader, Chieftain, hiding behind the trees there, more Morannon Orcs, and then behind this building, Sharku and his Wargs. So,
cleverly poised for attack.
Let's roll for priority. So, rolling for priority. And it's priority Arnor. So although it's Arnor priority, Lewis has decided to call a heroic march using the Troll Chieftain. He's just going to roll now to see if his Taskmaster lets him do it for free. So what do you need?
4+.
4+, and it goes for free. And it's a 4, so it's free. This is how the battlefield looks after movement. Unfortunately, Lewis's heroic march, because he had to move the Troll Chieftain first, he couldn't actually get beyond those trees, which is quite tightly packed, which did mean that it was effectively normal movement. But this is how it looks, so we're going to go straight into shooting. Rangers of Arnor firing into the group of Orcs here, needing 3s to hit. Lots of hits. In the ways on the guys in front as we try and get the Taskmaster and the Spearman. So the ones that get through, 1 at a time to kill the guys in the way of the Taskmaster. So needing 5s on the Spearman. 1 misses. Nothing. That's 1 of them dead. So the next one's on the Taskmaster.
Yep, that's fine. 6 is the Taskmaster.
And so 1 Orc dead.
Oh, dead.
And 6s for defense 6 on the front rank. And 2 die. Halbrand and the 3 Rangers of the North who have moved are again going to shoot into that group. Needing 4s. Only 1 misses. In the way to see if it hits the Spearman in front of the Taskmaster. And 2 hit the guys in front, so needing 5s.
Yep, nice.
And nothing. And the one that's on Taskmaster needing a 6. Another 5. Rangers Arnor on the hill and Arathorn firing into that group there. All needing 3s. Going for the weaker Spearman at the back. And nothing. Absolutely nothing. Next up, 2 Rangers of the North firing through the Spearman into the Taskmaster. You need 3s. Both hit. So they hit the Spearman. Both hit the spearman. 5s to kill the spearman. Moving on to priority turn 2. Priority for Arnor. So this is how it looks at the end of movement turn 2. Rangers just moved up a little bit, but just so they could still shoot. Halbrad moving up. We stayed on the hill here, and the Rangers moved back a little bit as our evil enemies move in on the hill. We did agree at the start of the game that this is a defensible position. It does require a climb test to get up. So on to shooting. 2 Rangers to the north are going to have a pop shot at Sharku's Warg, needing 4s as they've moved. Both hit. In the way for the guys in front. Both hit the guy in front. Defense 6 on the guy in front, so needing 6s. Oh, and he goes down. So our 3 Rangers to the north here, they've only got shots at the Chieftain, who's over there. Let's see what they do. So, needing 3s. All hit. Troll Chieftain is defense 8, so it's 6s followed by 5s. We get nothing. So this group and the Ranger to the north are going to just shoot at that group there. Let's see how they get on. So they've moved, needing 4s to hit. So, how many get through the front rank? 2 to hit the front rank, needing 6s. Nothing. 3 on the second rank, needing 5s. 1. Oh no. Halbrad's going to have a pot shot at the Taskmaster, firing through the Spearman. How does he get on? He misses. So all the Rangers here, bar Arathorn, they're going to just be shooting at the second rank. So they haven't moved, so we need 3s. Do they hit the first or the second rank? So the first rank, needing 6s to kill. Cock dice, we reroll that one, give us a 6. Nothing. And second rank, needing 5s. And nothing. Arathorn's going to try and snipe at the Taskmaster. There are 3 in the ways. So 3 to hit. He hits. So he hit the first guy. Hits the first guy. Needing 6. Doesn't get it. So this is the battlefield at the end of turn 2, moving on to turn 3 priority. So rolling for turn 3 priority. It's priority to Arnold. At the start of turn 3 movement, Ranger in the north there has called a heroic march to get the guys on this flank over to the middle. Also, Lewis has called a heroic move with the Taskmaster himself, and I've counted that a little bit down here using the Ranger in the north. So let's see who wins the roll-off. So it's Grey Company priority. So 1, 2, 3, it's evil. 4, 5, 6, it's good. And it goes to good. So the Ranger of the North, who'd called the heroic move and won the roll-off, moved and climbed up onto the barrier there. There were some Rangers that were in range, so we just spread out a little bit. Then it was Lewis's turn to use his heroic move, and he just wheeled everything around here, mainly to get himself out of bow fire. Make the angle a bit more difficult for me to shoot. After that, with my heroic march, I moved the Rangers across the battlefield, and in normal movement, just got the Ranger of the North round, Halbrad into charge range of the Troll, just brought Arathorn and some others to support against the Troll at the barrier. So, moving into shooting. The Rangers that have moved half over here, they're going to take a pop shot at the Warg Rider there, a few in the ways. Needing 4s. 1 hits. Does it hit the guy in front? No, gets through. Does it hit the spear guy? Yes. 5s to kill the spear guy. And it kills him. So that's the end of shooting into the single combat that we've got here. So we've got the Troll Chieftain who is charging up this cliff face, because it is a climb test. He did charge the 1 model, but he's now in contact with 5 normal Rangers and Arathorn. So Arathorn has called a heroic strike, which is being countered by the Troll. The Troll just needs to see if the Taskmaster gives it him for free. So on a 4+, it's for free. And it's for free. So Arathorn goes up to... He's fight 6, so he doesn't get it anyway.
And the Troll's fight value goes up to... That's 10.
So Arathorn and the 3 Rangers in front are going to faint. So let's see what we get. We do get the 6. Oh! And what's he going to do? Is he going to use 2 points of might to win this fight?
2 points of might, looks like.
2 points of might?
Yep.
So that takes you down to 0?
Yep. Not good.
So using 2 might, the Troll Chieftain has won this fight. Now, we have got a few rules queries here. Now, we did decide at the start of the game that this was a cliff face, and it is pretty high. It does go up to the top of the monster, so he's fighting up that barrier. Now, our query is Lewis wants to now roll a brutal power attack. He wants to hurl. So when this happens normally, it becomes one attack against one model. So the way that we're going to play it is that he's going to hurl and he has to roll the 1 in the way dice. Because do brutal power attacks ignore fighting across barriers? I would guess not. So that's how we're going to play it.
Yep.
Okay, so let's see if you get past the barrier.
4+.
4+ it gets past.
That's 3.
And it's a 3, so after all of that, give me a reaction to that. So at the end of turn 3, this is how it looks. We think we played the Troll Chieftain combat right, that the brutal power attacks, because it becomes a single attack, you roll to see if that takes the barrier into account. If you pass it, then you do the brutal power attack as you normally would, and if you don't, then you don't, and you back away an inch. So we think that we've got it right. So we're going to move into turn 4 priority. So we're rolling turn 4 priority. Oh, and it's drawn, which means it's priority evil. So with evil getting priority, the Ranger of the North here has called a heroic move, which gets most of these guys into play. However, Lewis is looking to counter with a last point of might from his Taskmaster. On a 1, 2, 3, he gets the heroic move. On a 4, 5, 6, my Ranger of the North does. He goes to evil. So he's going to see if his Taskmaster does that for free. So on a 4+, he does. And it doesn't.
No.
Oh dear. So at the end of Lewis's heroic move, he has actually readjusted his thinking. Taskmaster's moved over that way instead, and the Troll Chieftain has charged Halbrad. So onto my heroic move. So that's the end of movement. I didn't do much, just a climb test to support there, with him readjusting where he's going to be attacking. I've just stayed static, hopefully take some bow shots. So into shooting. So the Rangers of Arnor, who haven't moved this turn, plus the Ranger of the North, they're going to be shooting at effectively everything which is behind that shield line. So mostly wargs, taskmasters and spear support. So needing 3s to hit. Only 2 miss, so let's see what hits the front rank. Approximately half and half. Let's see, we need 6s on the guys in front. And we get nothing. So doing in the ways for the spear support, we're going to just try and fire all the way back at the wargs. So what hits the spear support? So 3 dice hit those spear support. So we need 5s to kill. And we kill the 2 spear support. And 2 to see if they go through the Taskmaster at the warg. 1 hits the Taskmaster, needing a 6. Defense 5. Doesn't get him. And on the Warg Rider, does it hit the Rider or the Warg?
It's the Warg.
Hits the Warg. And the Warg is defense.
4, so 5s.
So 5s. Oh! And the Warg goes down.
Thrown Rider test.
Thrown Rider test.
6.
And he's fine. This Ranger here is going to have a snipe at the Taskmaster there. He's not moved, so he needs a 3+. He hits. So he hit the front rank. Hits the front rank, so needs a 6. Gets a 5. Does he use a point of might to kill? No, he does not. So the Ranger of the North in the black, he rolled a 6 to climb up, so he can still shoot. He's going to snipe back there at Shaku. So, into 4. Doesn't do anything. So all of the Rangers of Arnor on the hill are basically going to just try and shoot at anything which is behind that front defensive line. 11 dice, needing 3s. First rank or second rank. So 3. Hit that front rank.
Yeah.
So needing 6s. Nothing. So the 3 that get through are going to fire at that. Are going to be aimed at that Warg Rider, but we've got to get through Spearman first. So what hits the Spearman? Oh, they all get through. I could do with that roll next. Okay, maybe I'll use different dice. Okay, so do they hit the Warg or the Rider? 1 hits the Warg, so needing 5s. 5s to kill the Warg?
No.
No. And needing 5s to kill the Rider or 6s?
6 to kill the Rider, he's defense 5.
Defense 5, so 6s to kill him. Oh, and he's dead. The Wargs can carry on being on the field. They take a courage test. Unfortunately, this one rolled a 7 and not an 8, so he flees. Arathorn's now going to attempt to snipe at the Warg Rider over there. In your 3s. Gets a 1. 2 Rangers of the North are just going to shoot at the spears behind the front rank. In your 3s. 1 hits. Front rank, second rank. Gets through. Needing a 5. And doesn't do anything. So on to turn 4 combat, and the only combat that we have is the Troll Chieftain versus Halbrad on his horse. Halbrad, at the start of the combat phase, has called a heroic strike. Halbrad goes up by 3, so he's now fight 8. So it's 3 on 3. Let's see what the troll gets first. He is mightless, Troll Chieftain. And he gets the 6. So we need a 6 to win this fight. We get a 4. That's a cock dice, so we are going to re-roll that. Oh! And Halbrad wins the fight. So Halbrad beats back the troll. He's got 3 attacks here.
Yep.
And it's strength 4 against defense 8. Well, 6s. So 6 is to wound. And we get a 5. What we're going to do is we're going to use 1 point of might. Yep. To turn that into a single wound. So Lewis is going to use one of his fate points, well, his only fate point. See if he avoids the wound. And he avoids the wound. Turn 5 priority. Priority, evil. We've got 8 minutes until our time limit is up, as you can see here. Evil have mobbed Halbrad and they did move up into a kind of defensive crescent. I've left my guys on the top of the hill there so I can get some shots off, but in the meantime I've also moved up and engaged in combat. So, on to shooting. So just all of my Rangers and Rangers of the North who haven't got might are shooting down basically into the back rank there. So it's 12 shots in your 3s. So do they hit the front rank or the second rank? So half and half. So the front rank needing 6s. Nothing. And the second rank. These guys, have these guys got shields?
Yep, got shields.
Oh, so they're 6s, aren't they?
6s as well.
6s as well.
Oh, 1 falls.
And we get 1 dead. So the guys with might, we're going to start off with this ranger here. Just again, he's going to fire at the spear dude behind. 3s to hit. Does nothing. Arathorn's going to do the same. So needing 3s to hit. He hits. Does he hit the front rank, second rank? Hits the front rank. Needing the 6. He gets a 1. And final ranger of the north is just going to shoot at the spear dude there. So he needs 3s to hit. He hits, could do with that next, because I need another 6. Oh, you saw the 6.
I'm going to declare heroic combat with Sharku and see if we can get the troll and the wire grinders and Sharku around some of the rangers.
And with Halbrad's last point of might, we're calling her heroic strike. So let's see what we go up to. We're up to fight 10. So these are all the evil attacks. Let's see what he gets. So immediately I can see a 6 there, so that means I need a 6. Can Halbrad get that 6 with his fight 10? Oh! He does it! He does it! Oh, Halbrad, amazing heroics there. He beats them all back. Amazingness. Come on, you like epic moments in fights, don't you, Lewis?
Yeah, it's not good for the evil side.
What a word to describe that.
Abysmal.
It was epic. And do both his attacks on the Troll Chieftain as it is Lewis's hero. So a 6. And we get a 1.
And a 1.
So we're technically nearly out of time, so we're going to run through these combats here. So we've got the Ranger of the North and the Ranger of Arnor support in there against the 1.
Aren't you? Oh no.
And we win. So he's pushed back. And he is defense
6.
and
He is strength
4. So
he's strength 3. So it's 5s for the ranger.
5s for the red dice.
Yep.
6s for the guy behind.
Nothing.
Nothing. So we're going to do 2 attacks here. The guy in front is going to faint. So what does Evil get?
And I'm going to faint as well. Evil gets 1. Excellent. And he gets.
So we win it. So the fainting dice is the blue dice.
No.
And we get nothing. Next one along.
Fight you again.
And again we're going to faint with our front guy.
I'm going to faint as well. He gets a 6 on Evil. He beats him off.
And Evil beats us back.
Okay, and I'm strength 4 and you are defense 4. So this is force.
Force to kill.
Nothing. Oh, but I did faint.
You did faint.
Start, so rerolling that once, and it is a 3.
Final combat on the end is the 3 rangers, one of which is supporting, and the Ranger of the North. The Ranger of the North and the 2 supporting are going to faint. Oh, so he can win this, but he doesn't. So he's trapped, so we're going to start off just with the Ranger of the North's attacks. So he gets double attacks, and he's re-rolling 1s. And he kills him outright. So we've reached the end of our 2-hour time limit, and this is how the battlefield looks. As you can see there, we're finally getting into some decent combats. In terms of casualties taken, I don't think Grey Company have scored 0 casualties. And over here, how many casualties have we got for Evil? So we've got 12 casualties. So, good game. Technically, it is a draw because neither of us have a banner, neither of us are broken, and neither of us inflicted any wounds on either hero. So it is 0-0. Moral victory for Grey Company. Well played, Lewis. Welcome, Strategy Battle Gamers, to another Great British Hobbit League Battle Report Breakdown. Now, we've just finished our battle report, and we have been at the Northwest Gaming Centre. The reason why we had to put a strict 2-hour time limit on our battle was for 2 reasons. My fiance's just opened a business today, so I'm wining and dining her tonight. We've done really well to get a battle report in, and if she knew that I was doing this, I would be dead. So nobody say a word. The second reason as well is that Darren was closing at 7 o'clock tonight, which is obviously fine. But it does mean that we didn't completely finish our game, but that's what happens in tournaments, and filming also adds a little bit of time. I reckon we probably could have finished that off within about half an hour. What do you reckon?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the result. Technically, it was a draw, 0-0, but both of us have had a little bit of a chat, and we think that technically a moral victory for Arnold, yeah, for the Grey Company. It did look towards the end there that we would probably take that. What do you think? I mean, what do you think the main reason for that is?
It was last minute putting an arm list together.
He thought we actually filmed the intro. Well, we filmed the intro, and I said, "Welcome to another 500-point battle report." And he was like, 800 points, and he'd actually brought an 800-point army in preparation for the Scouring of Stirlingshire tournament. But I did explain to Lewis that there is no way that we would have got 800 points in on a battle report. I mean, I dread uploading 30 minutes of video, let alone an hour's worth of video, especially getting them on YouTube HD. So he did change his list to 500 points. How did you find the list? Usually you're a dwarf player, aren't you?
Yep, I found the list to be just try and use the best of what I already had just got out then, so I couldn't changed it any other way really. I had like 5 minutes to put it together, so that's what you get for a 500 points 5-minute list.
Yeah, but to be honest, it wasn't really the list which was your downfall. It was your deployment and positioning.
Lack not reading the rules properly. So just general.
Yeah, one of the things that you'll notice in the battle report is that Lewis started off with calling a heroic march. Now, he didn't realise that when you call heroic march, you've got to move your hero first. And how he'd positioned his troll chieftain who called it, although it was a 3 might point because of his taskmaster, but he'd actually positioned him in front of like a real block of trees. So it wasn't like there were trees that he could pass through. They were actually like a real solid block of trees. And the models have got to finish within 6 inches of the hero that caused the movement. So immediately, you know, that might as well have been a normal movement. If he'd have deployed differently with the troll chieftain, not behind there, he would have been closer, and that probably would have been 1 less round of shooting.
Yeah.
Now, with the Grey Company, obviously, one of the reasons why, I mean, I love the theme. I really love the theme. I love the heroes. And I love the look of the models, even though they're the first models that I painted, and as you can see with the bases, not particularly fantastic, I have to say. I do love the theme, but to play as them regularly, really you don't really get a chance to savour all of the wonderful things about SBG. But both of us agree that was actually quite a fun battle.
Yeah, it was good.
It was good fun. Now, the reason why Grey Company aren't the most fun to play with is that really you have to use sort of two tactics, well, one strategy effectively, which is you want to stay out of the way and use your superior bowfire to pick off your enemy, if possible, where they've got spear support and softer models, and then when you are in a position then to use your own spear support to overwhelm them in numbers with your higher fight a lot of the time, then you do that. And that was clear today. The reason why we think that it probably would have been a Arnor or Grey Company victory at the end was because you'd lost
nearly half my numbers were gone.
You were nearly broken.
Nearly broken.
And most of those were your spear support.
Yeah, that game.
Now, because he had Moran and Orcs, they are strength 4, so he would have been killing on 4s, but it would have been quite hard for him to win fights. So I think that you probably would have been killing a lot when you were winning the fights. But
as the battle went along, it was you had a keen advantage from the start, being on top of the hill with a lot of rangers, so I really couldn't attack it.
Yeah, that was another thing as well.
And defending obstacles, so that negated me there.
And that wasn't something that I had planned either. We did discuss. And it was Lewis's suggestion. He said this hill looks like it should be an obstacle because it's quite high, it's got steep edges, more like a cliff face. That wasn't something that I'd planned. There was quite a lot of terrain on the board as well, so it wasn't like we'd set up a board that would give the Grey Company an advantage at all. There's loads of terrain, but it did work out in my favour because from a tactical point of view, you felt like you had to kind of hold back a little bit, didn't you?
Yeah.
Hold back and try and almost sort of get up on the hill with your troll chieftain, which you tried.
But it failed.
But it failed with your chieftain. And we did have a little bit of a rules debate in there as well about doing brutal power attacks over barriers.
Yeah.
Now this wasn't just a normal. If this had been like a small wall and the troll would have towered over it, then it wouldn't have been a barrier anyway. But because this was quite a steep cliff, which was more than the height of most of the models, and it was quite a long, quite a high way up of the troll as well, we did still count it as a barrier. But all in all, a good fun game. It's a shame that we didn't get to finish it to a conclusion, but if you're going to be practicing for tournament games, if you're going to be practicing for tournament games, then you need to be able to go quickly. I think this will be one of the quickest battle reports that we've filmed. We've also been talking about who we think the man of the match was, and we are both in a big agreement. Let's say it at the same time. 3, 2, 1. Halbarad. Wow.
Fantastic, God.
Fought off that troll. Did that heroic strike? Yeah, did a heroic strike.
Twice.
And I did. There was a cock dice which I re-rolled, got the 6, managed to beat him back, forced him to use a fate point, and then you had the situation where you had Sharky, Taskmaster,
another Warg Rider, and the troll surrounding Halbarad, which he then called a heroic strike again. Last
point of might, heroic strike. Now, there was no might on the troll anymore because he had used that to win the fight against Arathorn at the barrier.
Yep.
However, Sharku did have some might. Now, he couldn't call heroic strike because he'd already called a heroic move to get everything over there. And Halbrad again rolled that 6, fought them back. Absolutely epic. Held you up for long enough. So he is definitely our man of the match. So let us know what you thought about the Grey Company today and what you thought about our lists, and if you've got any comments on the rules. Remember, I'm a relatively new gamer, and Lewis hasn't been playing the Hobbit, as in the Hobbit rules, for loads of time, and of course we are going to get some things wrong. So to be a little bit patient with us, and I hope that you enjoyed this battle report.
No, not right, an army in 5 minutes time.
He's just getting his excuses in. Okay guys, thank you very much. Keep supporting your Hobbit hobby, and happy strategy battle gaming.